She was 5 years old, small, bright, full of motion, and in June of 2021, she disappeared from her family's home in the hills of East Tennessee. This is the verified timeline of the disappearance of Summer Wells, told only through confirmed public records, official statements, and law enforcement releases. No rumors, no speculation. Welcome to the Velvet Files. I'm your host, Lisa. Let's begin. Summer Moon Utah Wells was reported missing on June 15th, 2021, from her home in Hawkins County near Rogersville, Tennessee. Her disappearance triggered one of the largest search efforts in state history, involving local authorities, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and multiple specialized search teams. The Wells family home sits in a rural wooded stretch of Hawkins County. The terrain is steep, dense, and difficult to search, with thick underbrush and narrow gravel roads that wind across the hillside. On June 15th, 2021, in the afternoon, according to official statements, Summer was last seen at her home. Later that day, around 6:30 p.m., a family member reported her missing. Law enforcement and rescue teams were dispatched immediately. Night fell quickly, and the terrain posed challenges from the very start. The first searches involved ground teams, K-9 units, and aerial support. In the early days of the investigation, the TBI noted that the circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance were unclear, and they urged the public to rely only on law enforcement updates. Over the next days and weeks, hundreds of searches covered thousands of acres of land. Crews worked in intense heat and rugged conditions, sometimes returning to the same areas multiple times to ensure no detail was missed. Drones, thermal imaging, specialized tracking teams, and dive units were all used. The terrain made visibility low and movement slow. Law enforcement continued to release updates asking for credible information, stating clearly that misinformation was interfering with the investigation. They encouraged the public to share only confirmed updates, avoid speculation, and report any potentially useful information to official tip lines. So far, what we have that is verified is that Summer was last seen at her home on June 15th, 2021. She was reported missing that evening, and search efforts included the ground, aerial, and water teams. The investigation remains active. There are claims that circulate online about this case, but many of them are not supported by public records or official statements. Those details are not included here, out of respect for the integrity of the investigation and the individuals involved. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Summer Moon Utah Wells was last seen on June 15th, 2021, at or near her home in Rogersville, Tennessee. At this time, investigators have not determined whether she wandered away, was abducted, or encountered foul play. No suspects have been named in the case. On June 26, 2021, TBI released a public request for information regarding a vehicle seen in the area of Beach Creek Road and Ben Hill Road. The vehicle was described as a red or maroon 1998 to 2000 Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack and white buckets in the back. This individual is considered a possible witness, not a suspect. According to the official NamUs record, Summer is described as a white female with strawberry blonde hair and blue eyes. She was 5 years old at the time of her disappearance, and she would be 9 years old today. Summer is listed under NamUs case number MP81939. Links to both the NamUs listing and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's public case updates are included below. If you have credible information regarding the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells, contact the TBI at 1 800 TBI FIND. That's 1 800 TBI FIND. Or the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423 272 4848. A disappearance like this stays with a community. It lingers in quiet conversations, in kitchens, in church parking lots, and the winding roads that run through the hills. And in the memory of those who knew her and those who didn't, but still remember her face. Summer Wells was 5 years old, small, bright, full of motion. Her story remains open. This is the Velvet Files. Follow, like, and subscribe. New stories every week.